Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Lecture number 9, unit number 1, complex number. The topic of this video lecture is solutions of simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficient. In this video lecture we will discuss that what is the simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficients, and then we will find out a method for solving such systems to get the solutions. Now the contents of this video lecture are: what is simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficient. So first of all we will discuss briefly that what is system, then we will discuss linear equations, simultaneous linear equations with complex coefficient. The next content of this video is solutions to the prior system. What will be the solution, how we can find the solution. So this is the method which is used for finding the solution of simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficient. And then this concept that we study here will be used to solve the exercise questions of exercise 1.3 question number 1, which contain 4 parts. So this is the contents of this video lecture. Before to discuss the content, we need some background study for the study of the simultaneous system of simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficient. In previous classes you may discussed linear equation in one variable, linear equation in one variable. So the general form of linear equation in one variable is ax plus b equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. So this is a linear equation in one variable. This a is called the coefficient of x. This a is called the coefficient of x. A constant number which is multiplied to the left of a variable is called the coefficient. So in this case x is variable, x is unknown. This is a variable or this is unknown. So you see that a is to the left of x written in multiplication with the x. So this is the coefficient. So if this is a linear equation in one variable, so it is necessary that a must not equal to be 0, because these constants are from the set of real numbers. So if they are from the set of real number, so there is a possibility that a may be 0, because 0 is also a real number. So that's why we will impose an extra condition that a is not equal to 0. So it is a linear equation in one variable. Now an equation in which the highest power of the variable in all terms are called in which the highest power of unknown of variable in all terms is 1, mean there is no power which is greater than 1, so such type of equations are called linear equation in one variable. So you see that this is a linear equation because the highest power of the variable is 1. There are two terms, ax is one term and b is another term. Terms are differentiated by plus and minus. So you see that there is a plus, so that's why you can say that this is the first term and this is the second term. So in both terms the highest power of the variable is 1. You didn't see x power 2 or x power 3. So such type of equation in which the highest power of variable is 1 in all the terms, so such type of equations are called linear equations. So you see that this is a linear equation in one variable. You see the x is a single variable. This is a linear equation in one variable. Now after that you may know linear equation in two variable, linear equation in two variables. So this is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So you see that in this equation we have two variables. This is our variable and this is our variable. So there are two variables. This x and y are unknowns, mean they are variables. Okay, so and a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, and c is a constant term. So a, b, c belongs to set of real number, and a is not equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0, because if either of them is 0, then that equation will never be in two variable. If for example if a is 0, so then a multiplied 0 multiplied by x, so that term will be vanish. So you will get a linear equation in one variable, or either a b equal to 0, so that term will be vanish, you will get a linear equation in one variable. So this is a linear equation in two variable. You see that this is a linear because the highest power of the variable is 1. You didn't see the power of variable other than 1 in this equation. So this is a linear equation in two variable. Now in this case you see that linear equation in one variable, you can easily solve this equation. Now I am considering the example of linear equation in one variable. Let's say 3x minus 9 equal to 0. The value of a is 3 and the value of b is minus 9. So you know that this is a single equation and there is a single unknown. So you see that the number of equation is 1, the number of variable is 1. So when the number of equation and the number of variables are equal, then you can get the unique solution very easily. So in that case you see that x will be equal to 9 divided by 3, or you can write x is equal to 3. So this is the solution. This is the solution of this equation. We can easily find the solution because this is a single linear equation. So in this case the unknown is 1. X is your unknown, your variable. So you see that the number of variables are the one, number of unknowns in this equation is 1, and the number of equation are also 1. So that's why you get the unique solution. X is equal to 3 is the solution. Now what is the definition of the solution? Those values of unknown, this x is your unknown, those values of unknown for which the original equation is satisfied. So what does it mean? It means that when you put the value of the variable in the original equation, mean you plug x is equal to 3 in the original equation and left hand side become equal to right hand side, so that value of variable is called the solution. Now if I plug this x is equal to 3 in this equation, you clearly see that this x will be replaced by 3 because you get x is equal to 3. So if someone asks that why this x is equal to 3 is the solution, so this is the solution because it satisfies the original equation. So how you can verify that it satisfies? You just need to replace the variable in the original equation by the value of that variable that you get from the process. So you see that this is equal to 9 minus 9 equal to 0, 0 equal to 0. So you clearly see that for x is equal to 3 this equation is satisfied. So that's why this x is equal to 3 is called the solution. So in this case you get a unique solution. X is equal to 3 only satisfies this equation. If you replace x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 6 here, so you will never get 0 equal to 0, you will never get left hand side is equal to right hand side, because this is a linear equation in one variable and the number of equations are also 1. So that's why when the number of equations are equal to the number of variable, you will always get a linear solution, you will always get a unique solution. So that's why we get a unique solution. Now moving towards the linear equation in two variable. Let's say I choose the example 3x plus 4y minus 7 equal to 0. So you clearly see that this is a linear equation because the highest power of the variable in each term is not greater than 1. Here the highest power of the variable is 1, here the highest power of the variable is 1, and in this term there is no variable. So you can say the power of the variable is 0. So the highest power of the variables in this equation is 1. So that's why this is a linear equation. Now if it is a linear equation, how many variables are there? There are two variables, x and y. So that's why this is a linear equation in two variables. This is a linear equation in two variables. Now in this case, the number of equations are 1. Number of equations is 1. You see that this is a single equation, and the number of unknowns, unknown mean variables, the values of which we are finding. So in this case, the number of unknowns are the number of variables. Number of variables are 2. So you see that the number of equations are not equal to the number of variables. So in this case, we cannot find a unique solution. We cannot find single value of x and single value of y which satisfies this equation, because the number of equation is 1 and the number of variables are 2. So in this case, the unique solution is not possible. How we can find the solution when the number of equations is less than the number of variables? So there is a technique, but up to now we know the procedure that when the number of equations are equal to the number of variables, so we can get a unique solution. So now in this case, you see that the number of equations are not equal to the number of variables. The variables are 2 and the equation is 1. So in this case, if you need to solve this equation, the unique solution is not possible. You get many solutions. There are infinite solutions. Infinite solutions mean you get infinite values of x and y which will satisfy this equation. So how you can find out that infinite solutions? For that, we draw the graph of this equation. Remember that the graph of linear equation in two variables will be always a straight line. So this is an important note for you people. The graph of linear equation in two variables are always a straight line in a plane. So now, how? I am taking an example to show that. I am considering 3x plus 4y minus 7 equal to 0. This is my linear equation in two variables. Linear equation in two variables. This is my linear equation in two variables. Mean unknowns. There are two unknowns, x and y, for which we are looking to find the values of the unknown. So in this case, you clearly see that the number of equations are greater than the number of variables. The number of equations are less than the number of variables. There are two variables and one equation. So in this case, this is an important note, when number of equations less than number of unknowns mean variables. So in this case, when the number of equations are less than the number of unknowns, you clearly see that the number of equation is 1, the number of unknown are 2. So in this case, we get infinite solutions. infinite solutions. Now, infinite solution means we get infinite number of values for x and for y which will satisfy this equation. So how we can find that infinite solutions? So we use a graphical method. We draw the graph of linear equation in two variable, and all the points which make that line, which make that graph, is actually the solution. So we already explained in the beginning that the graph of a linear equation in two variable are always a straight line in a plane. So you see that this is my rectangular coordinate plane, x-axis, this is y-axis. Now the consideration of this rectangular coordinate system is necessary because, for example, if I take a point in a plane, let's say this is my point in a plane, so I cannot assign the coordinate to this point if I didn't draw the rectangular coordinate system, because I need reference for this point, that this point is how many unit away from the x-axis and how many unit away from the y-axis. To show the coordinate of this point, mean the position of this point, you need to draw the rectangular coordinate system first, because this point is actually 0 0, having coordinate 0 0 is a reference point from which we start measurement. So that's why the rectangular coordinate system is necessary. Now, and you know that all the points in a plane are actually written in the ordered fair form, and that ordered fair form are the forms are actually represent the position of that point. So you know that this line, this equation, linear equation in two variable, is always represent a line graphically. So if this is a line graphically, so you know that line is composed of so many points. You see that when you join so many points in a plane, so that make a line. So you see that when you draw this line in this plane, so every point lies on the line will be the solution, because every point on the line will actually having a coordinate, having ordered pair for to show their position in the plane. So that's why, and you see that whenever the line is drawn in this plane, it must passes from the x-axis and it must passes from the y-axis. So that's why to find the graph of this equation, we will find the x-intercept and y-intercept. So remember, when a line passes from x-axis, so the value of the y is 0, and when the line passes from the y-axis, the value of the x is 0. So you see that on the x-axis all the values of y is 0, because this is a horizontal line, and on y-axis all the values of the x is 0, because this is a vertical line. So the simplest and the easy way to graph this linear equation in two variable is to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And you know that the graph of this equation is a line. So if it is a line, so the minimum requirement for the line is 2 points. So when you plot 2 points in a plane, so then you will join these 2 points and extend in both directions. So that will become the line, and all the points which lies on the line will be the solution, of the point. And you know that a line is made from infinitely many points, so that's why the solution of such type of equations are infinite. So now I am interested to find out the x-intercept. So x-intercept mean y equal to 0 when the line passes from the x-axis. So at that point, the point of intersection of the line with the x-axis, at that point y is 0. So when you plug y equal to 0 in this equation, this implies that 3x minus 7 equal to 0. So this implies that x is equal to 7 by 3. So you get a point 7 by 3 0. This is your x-intercept. The line will intersect the x-axis at this point. So let's say this is my 7 by 3 0. This is the point which lies on the x-axis. And now find y-intercept. Y-intercept. So x is equal to 0 because on the y-axis all the values of the x is 0. So this implies that the equation will become 4y minus 7 equal to 0. So this implies that y is equal to 7 by 4. So the y-intercept is 0, 7 by 4. So let's say this point is 0, 7 by 4. So this is your x-intercept, this is your y-intercept. So join this x-intercept and y-intercept. Join this x-intercept and y-intercept and proceed this in both the directions. So you get this line. This is the line that we get. So this line is actually comes from this equation. So the graph of this linear equation in two variable is a straight line, which is this straight line. So now you see that when you plug x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 7 by 4, so this equation will be satisfied. If you plug x is equal to 7 by 3 and y equal to 0, this equation will be satisfied. And any other point, if I take this point, so this point must have some coordinates, because we know from the previous lecture that there is a 1-1 correspondence between the set of ordered pairs and the points which make the line. For every point there must be an ordered pair, and for every ordered pair there must be a point on the line. So for this point, if I choose this point, if I choose any point on the line, so there must be an ordered pair. And ordered pair, we have the value of x and we have the value of y. So for example, here the value of x is minus 3 and the value of y is 10. So that minus 3, 10 will satisfy this equation. The coordinates at this point, the value of x and the value of y will satisfy this equation, and so on. So it's mean that all the points which lies on the graph of the equation will always satisfy that equation. So remember that every point which lies on the graph of the equation, maybe it's maybe any type of equation, but remember when you draw the graph of an equation, so all the points which lies on the graph will satisfy that equation. Means all the points which make the graph is actually the solution of that equation. So that's why I am saying that all the points which lies on this line will satisfy this equation. So you see that this line is made from infinitely many points. So that's why the solution of linear equation in two variable is infinite, because the graph of it is a straight line. So from here you remember 2 points, that the graph of a linear equation in two variable, graph of a linear equation in two variable mean unknowns is a straight line in two-dimensional plane. The other point is all the points lies on the straight line will satisfy. All the points lies on the graph. So in this case the graph is a straight line will satisfy the given equation. So in this case the equation is linear equation in two variable. So remember that if you draw a graph of an equation, so all the points lies on the graph will satisfy that equation. So in this case the equation is linear equation in two variable, and you must remember that the graph of the linear equation in two variable is a straight line. So that all the points which make the straight line, or you can say all the points which lies on this straight line will satisfy this equation. So this implies that the solutions of this type of equations are infinite. So you see that when the number of equations are less than the number of unknowns, so you get infinitely many solutions, infinite solutions. So this is the background study. So please study this, practice on this, that how you can draw the graph. You can easily draw the graph of this equation, because you know from the beginning that the graph of linear equation in two variable is a straight line. So that straight line in two-dimensional plane, when you draw a rectangular coordinate system, must process from the x-axis and y-axis. So when it passes from the x-axis, so the y coordinate will be there 0, and when it passes from the x-axis y-axis, so the x coordinate will be 0. So you need to find out the intercept to draw the graph of this, because for the minimum requirement for a single straight line is 2 points. So you need to plot 2 points in a plane, and then pass straight line from their 2 points. So it is not always compulsory that you need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. You need to find any 2 points in a plane. By assigning one variable some value, you get the other variable, and then assigning one variable some value and then get the other variable. So you will get 2 points in a plane and then join those 2 points. But the easy way is draw the x-intercept and the y-intercept first, and then make a line through those 2 points. So this is the equation of that. This is the graph of this equation, and all the points lies on this will be the solution of this equation. So this is the background knowledge which is necessary for this topic, solution of simultaneous linear equation in two variable. So one point I want to discuss, and then in next video lecture we will discuss this, because it will become so lengthy if I discussed this whole thing in this video lecture. So another point, what is system? Now you see that we consider that 3x plus 4y minus 7 equal to 0. This is a linear equation in two variable. Now I am taking another linear equation. Let's say 4x minus 13y plus 10 equal to 0. So this is equation number 1, which is a linear equation in two variable. This is equation number 2. So this is also a linear equation in two variable. So when two or more than two equations are written collectively, so those equations make a system. So you see that I collectively written these two equations. So when two or more than two equations are written combinedly, so that is called the system. So this is the system, because you see that there are two equations. So this is the system of linear equations in two variable. So this is called the system, two variables. And this is also called simultaneous, because now in this case you see that the number of variables are 2 and the number of equations are 2. So the number of equations and the number of variables are equal. So you will get a unique solution. And if you draw the graph of the equation number 1, so from the previous you see that this is the graph of linear equation, which is equation number 1, and then you can draw the graph of this equation. So for this equation you will find the x-intercept. So choose y equal to 0. So x will be equal to 10 by 4 minus 10 by 4. So minus 10 by 4, 0 is 1 point. So that point will be, let's say this is minus 10 by 0 minus 10 by 4, 0. So this is the x-intercept for this equation, and put x is equal to 0, so you get minus 13y plus 10 equal to 0. So you will get y is equal to 10 by 13. So this is, let's say this is 10 by 13. Let's say 10 by 13. I draw this roughly. So let's say this is 10 by 13, 0. So this is a y-intercept. So you join this. So you see that this is the graph of equation number 2. This is the graph of equation number 1. So at that point you see that there is an intersection between these two lines. So this point must have some ordered pair, some value of x and some value of y. So this is the solution for both the equation, because you see that this point lies on both the lines. So this point will satisfy equation number 1, and this point will also satisfy equation number 2. So that's why such type of systems are called simultaneous linear system, because for these single values of the variable these equations are satisfied. So actually this is if I choose a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So this is a system of simultaneous linear equation, simultaneous linear equations in two variables. But in this case a1 b1 and a2 b2 must not be equal to 0, and a1 b1 c1 a2 b2 c2 must belongs to from the set of real numbers. But in chapter number 1 we are actually discussing complex variables, complex numbers. So the system of linear equation, the system of simultaneous linear equation with complex coefficient, so that is p1 z plus q1 w equal to r1, p2 z plus q2 w is equal to r2. So this is the system of simultaneous mean you get a single value of z and single value of w which will satisfy both the equations. So this is called simultaneous. At the same time the single values of x and the single value of y will satisfy both the equation at the same time. So system of simultaneous linear equations in two variables with complex coefficient, In that case this p1 q1 p2 q2 must belongs to the set of complex numbers. So you may also call this is a complex variables, because you know that every number is a complex number, but at that situation we didn't know the complex numbers, so that's why we say that these coefficients and constants from the set of real numbers. So now in this case you know the complex numbers, so that's why the coefficients, this p1 q1 p2 and q2 are the coefficients, because they are written with multiplication from the left side with a variable. Here z and w are variable. So you see that there are two equations written combinedly, so that's why this is called system. They are simultaneous because for the single values of z and w you will get satisfied this equation as well as this equation, and they are linear because the highest power of the variable is 1 and there are two variables with complex coefficient, and this p1 p2 q1 q2 are the complex coefficient. So our target is this: how we can find the solution of this equation, So this is the main topic of this video lecture. This is the main topic that for which we are looking. This is the main topic which is given in your book. So inshallah in coming video we will start from here. So you see that I gave the all background knowledge for this. So we will study this in inshallah in previous lecture, that how we can find the solution of this and which method will be used to get the solution. And actually that solution must be in ordered fair form, because you see that this is a linear equation in two variables, so its graph must be a straight line. So the point of intersection at which these two lines, actually this is a line, so the point at which these two lines intersect each other, so that must be a point in a plane, so that must have some ordered pair for their representation, for their position. So that point having values will satisfy this equation as well as this equation. So this is for this video lecture. Inshallah in next video lecture we will discuss this. So this is all for this. We just discussed this point in this video lecture, that what is a system of linear equation with complex coefficient with the background knowledge. So you see that mathematics is so compact and cumulative. If you understand this concept, you need to know the previous knowledge. So that's why I am revising the previous knowledge which you studied in class 9 and class 10. So that's why in mathematics you didn't supposed to be forget the previous things. You must remember and know the previous thing, then you can make a good strong base or a strong concept of the new topics. So please work on the previous work as well. Thank you.